Lizzie. Welcome to my channel, and we're doing a real talk today, 10 minutes or less, about how do you know if your person likes you for real, if this is a solid connection, if it's headed in a good direction, or if you're getting yourself caught up in a karmic. I'm going to try to give you some basic tips from both men and women. Now, this is generic, so it's not going to be true for everybody, but usually they're the tall tale signs that somebody's in love. So let's look at the relationship. If you are in one already, you can evaluate your relationship. If you are thinking of getting in one, you can gauge it. Or if you haven't met anyone, this is what you could look for. I keep it to 3 simple things to look for. So when you are first meeting someone, let's talk about the 3 things that should be important. I know that most people focus on looks, and I know that they play some part of a factor in your attraction to people because you have to be attracted to them in the first place. But everybody's tastes change over the years, and what you used to find attractive, you might not find attractive anymore. So I try not to focus on looks at all. It does help if they are a serious hottie McHot face, because of course the sexual tension, right? But you really want to focus on important things. By the way, I don't really have blue eyes. This is a filter. I just like the eyelashes. Anyway, so the top 3 things I look for is, do we have a lot of things to talk about? And it doesn't have to be things to talk about like actual topics, but if you're talking and the person always seems to contribute or add to your whatever you're talking about, if they seem to like the same things, that's a big bonus for me. I always look for people I can have strong conversations with, because long term down the road, you got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to have common interests. Let me say that again. Communicate. I'm still recovering from my brain injury, by the way. Speech is a little funny for me, so if I mix words up, I'm really sorry if I don't catch it, by the way. Just put it in the comments. Lizzie, you fucked up again. I'll be like, shit, brain injury. But anyway, so can you have a conversation with this person? And it doesn't have to be about intelligence, like do they have enough smart things to talk about, or do we have enough to talk about? It's, do they care? Do they listen? Do they show interest in the things that you are talking about? And things I always pay attention to, if I talk to them about something and they didn't know what it was, and then the next time I see them, they're like, hey, I found out what so-and-so was. Guess what? I like it too. Like, that always catches in my mind that, one, they're listening to me. They're showing an interest. They're putting in effort into trying to figure out what makes me tick. These are all factors that I look for in somebody I'm dating, because you want somebody who's going to put the work in. You want somebody who's going to be interested in you. However, you have to be careful that the things they're not interested in, both men and women, aren't just about the quest, about the achievement, because I think a lot of people get into relationships and they have all these intense feelings when really it was just about the dating, the romance is what you were excited about, but the person wasn't really fitting the bill. It's like you overly romanticized the situation. I am guilty of that, or at least I was in my past. So always make sure that you can talk to this person. Red flags for me are when you talk, if they say things like, well, that's crazy, or that's stupid. Now, keep that on whatever you're reference to. If they're making a joke and you guys are comedians, that's not a turnoff. You know what I mean? It's gotta be a red flag, as in they are belittling you in some way, acting uninterested, or just being obnoxious. Those are immediate red flags. I would not continue, because if somebody can't even find you important enough to listen to, or if they immediately belittle you for something they don't agree with or they don't understand, that's somebody who isn't ever going to be willing to learn or work with you. And you're going to end up fighting more than you get along. So communication, paying attention to how you communicate, is vital. I always pay attention to how they treat the people around me because that's a big indicator on how they're going to treat you. If they treat a waiter with disrespect and they don't know that person and that person's working hard and they're at their job and they're just a complete jerk, that's somebody you're going to have to tolerate. Like, are you going to be able to go out to restaurants and not be mortified to sit at the table with this person? Think about the people in your life that they might not like or agree with, or they might think is beneath them in some way. You're going to hit the wall with them if they're that confrontational, if they're that rude to other people. So always, that's number 2 for me. Always pay attention to how they act to the people in their life and strangers, because both are going to tell you very big clues. If they're rude to strangers, it really depends on the situation, because I'm a mouthy motherfucker. So if I know somebody's being slick, I'll let it go to a certain point before I say, hey, you're being rude. And that might be considered confrontational, but and if they're defending you, I don't really feel like that's confrontational. I feel like that's a level of respect. But you don't want somebody who's going to be like drama all the time, so pay attention to that. If they do stick up for you, if they do defend you, man or a woman, I feel like that's a strong sign that they have deep feelings for you. Like, as in, if their family member says something like, I don't think that person's right well, I don't care what you think. I think they're great. That's somebody, listen, it's more common in men when they really like someone and they're like thinking of locking it down. They're not going to tolerate anybody like stepping in or giving bad advice, or to a point. Like, they can take you ripping on them if you're your friends, but they stand up to their family members. And I think women are a little bit slower with this, especially with like the females in their groups. But if you see a woman defend you to their sister or their mom, that's love right there. They're willing to have a cat fight over you, or if they're willing to stand up for you, I feel like that's a strong sign. So overall, for men, I think, long story short, they got to listen to you, pay attention to what you say, make sure they're not making it all about sex. I know men are more verbal about sex, but that doesn't mean that it's just about sex. However, pay attention to the red flags, because a lot of people are out here just trying to have conquest, and if you're looking for the real deal, you got to have somebody who, the dates and stuff have to be geared around fun and not like getting drunk to lead into something. So pay attention to the nature and the vibe of the dates that they are taking you on, or the things that you're hanging out with. If they're always, trying to gear you towards the bedroom, I would put the brakes on that. It's not necessarily that they don't like you. It just might be a passion and not a love. I'm more into taking my time, but that doesn't have to be true for you. So men, the top 3 things that if they like you, like I said, they defend you to other people. Men don't, God bless men, but they won't listen to women unless they really like them. Like, they're not going to listen to you ramble on about your favorite girl show if they don't fucking like you. So if they let you ramble about girl shit, and they want to listen about your girlfriends and what's going on in your life, that mother F loves your ass. Because they don't give a shit, ladies. They don't give a shit. They're just listening because they want to watch you talk, or they just want to look at you. You know what I mean? So I always look for, as well as compliments, but they don't have to pay you compliments to get you to like them. I like men, I think it's sweet, and they show they genuinely care when you're having like a bad day, and they say things not just to make you feel better, but they actually mean it. Like, what do you mean? You're so pretty. I don't like it when you feel bad about yourself. When they say shit like that, they like you. Women are very simple. They will cook, clean, and do your fucking laundry for you and pack your fucking suitcase if they love you. They will call you before they go to bed if you are apart, and they will most likely say it first. However, if a girl really likes you and doesn't tell you, they might be baiting you into saying it first. So men, if your woman is overly romantic, I think they're just overly animated about showing you how they feel. Women, for the most part, wear their hearts on the sleeve. But if they cook for you, fold your fucking socks and your underwear and set out your fucking outfit so your day's earlier, that bitch loves you, okay?